Okay, folks, welcome back to the PSA podcast. This week we are talking about the best 11 in the Premier League. Matthew has built a team, and me and Richard are going to tell him that he's wrong for every single player in the team. No, we're actually going to build the best 11 from this season, plus the bench.
And a manager and assistant manager.
And a manager and assistant. Okay. I'm going to guess Jose's not in the conversation, but we'll go for it anyway. Okay, well, let's start off with goalkeeper. Who have we got?
Well, we're kind of tied between two here at the minute. We're tied between
De Gea and Dean Henderson. Fair.
We're tied between Emi Martinez from Aston Villa and Ederson from Manchester.
I don't know how we're tied here. Like, I really don't.
I think it's Martinez.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, well, Martinez is in.
That is the most Arsenal thing I've ever heard, and it's the best thing I've ever heard that Arsenal let go
of their best keeper. Yeah, have the best
Arsenal
one. Yeah.
Had the best keeper that they've had since.
Hands up, has to be Martinez. I would say he's got Villa easily 20 points this season.
So Martinez is number one. We'll
Easy.
Ederson to sub goalkeeper.
I'm glad you're listening to your goalkeeper coach here when it comes to like the rest of the team. I really don't care. Like, you
Well, right? Let's go left back. Who
left back? I think there's only one option for left back.
Stuart Dallas. No, because if you're not, I don't know. I think you have to. You're. I know who you've picked.
We've got Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
We've got Stuart Dallas.
Kieran
Ben
Tierney.
Chilwell. Who's he?
Kieran Tierney played 2.5 games for Arsenal this season.
Yeah, and he's been rubbish in all of them.
As lies, he's got the most. He's got very good luck. I know why he used to go and Luke Shaw, because United play the whole ball just goes down the left hand side.
Luke Shaw's come back from nothing to play every week for Manchester United.
Yeah, I'm glad. So he said from nothing. So he's had 1 year. He's had a good year.
From a broken leg.
That's what it is. It's Premier League Team of the Year.
It's solely on this season.
What about Stuart Dallas?
Stuart Dallas plays the odd game at left back, plays the odd game at right back, plays some games in midfield. Yes, Stuart Dallas could be in the squad, but I don't think he's the best Premier League left back this season.
I think Stuart Dallas is perfect for the bench. He's a utility defender. He can swap in.
I don't think Stuart Dallas has been Premier League's best left back.
I think he probably will be seen as pretty good because he's got a few goals, which is obviously important. But like, your left back isn't for goals.
Okay. All right. So. Okay.
I think the
okay.
best
So we're going.
This season has been Luke Shaw.
Right. Okay. Let you have that one.
Centre back, Lindelof Maguire.
They're not even making the bench.
I've only one centre half at the minute. I'm struggling for the other one, so it can be up for debate. But
okay.
I think the best centre back in the league this season has been Ruben Diaz.
I'll reluctantly agree.
He is totally. Everybody was on about Van Dijk's,
impact
at Liverpool. I think.
What about Stones?
I think Diaz has had the same, if not better, impact at City, and he plays near enough.
Yeah.
Every league game,
pretty
Champions
much.
League game, cup game, it's always near enough him and somebody.
Yeah. I think Stones is made to look better by Diaz. I don't think like you saw whenever England played there recently, Stones didn't have Diaz and he had a shocker.
There's a couple of options. You could maybe go Stones. You could go Connor Cody. He's had a good season at Wolves and broke into England squad.
Wolves hasn't had a good season, but
Wolves haven't had an overly good season. No.
Yeah. What about David Luiz?
moving on.
Play with one at the back. You could go
Rob Holding.
Rob Holding.
You could go Johnny Evans at Leicester, plays me every week. Leicester sitting third in the table.
It does sound awful and it sounds stupid, but statistically, Harry Maguire's had a very good season.
Had a very good season.
He's had a clanger or two in him.
Who?
He has had a few.
Harry
shockers.
Maguire. We're going to put Harry Maguire in that team.
Statistically, he's had a very good season.
Well, so's Rob Holding. He's only played about 5 games, but he's kept so many clean sheets. So if we're going down statistics, we could have a player that played.
Rob Holding held 0 clean sheets this year.
I think we'll maybe leave that spot.
We'll leave that spot for a minute.
Come back.
Yeah. Because we're not going to agree on this. Right back. Who's
Right
your
back is another position we're kind of struggling in because I think there's a few options.
Bellerin.
Are we playing? What formation are we playing? This'll maybe change things.
Probably should have started with that.
Yeah, probably should have started with that. 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1.
We're going to go for a 4-2-3-1.
Okay, 4-2-3-1. I think you've got a couple of options. You've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka as an option. You've got Reece James as an option. You've got, what do you call is it Cancelo?
Yeah,
Is it
John
Cancelo?
Crespo. What about
Vladimir Kufal from
Vladimir
Kufal.
Putin?
So really, it's probably between Cancelo, Reece James, Wan-Bissaka. Is there anybody else?
Well, he's won't want
Trent? What about Trent? No, Liverpool player, not going in.
Right back is a strong position.
It's a strong, yeah.
Even look at the English left backs. I think there's 6 English left backs. You know, we all would be able to shout for the Euros, but for me, it's between, you know, Kufal at West Ham's done exceptionally well, moved for very little money. You know, a good number of assists, plays near enough every week. I think if you're going down a team, you know, you just don't want to put all the top
Yeah,
team
yeah.
players in. I
yeah.
think Kufal is in with a shout.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go.
I think, yeah, we'll go Kufal.
Go.
Yeah, we'll go Kufal.
Kufal.
Yeah. Reluctantly, because he's not a Man United player. So you've got your 4-2-3-1, you've got your 2.
We've got our 2 at the minute.
So McFred, and who's next?
Jagger.
Xhaka. Xhaka's not.
Nah, he's not playing.
So you got your 2.
Got
So
that.
who's your
I think we should-
who's your number 6?
Number 6, I would be pushed to go past Declan Rice
Good shout.
up until he get injured.
Ah, then we can't put him in then.
I think he played every single minute.
Up
What
until
was about, I think it was 20 or 29 Premier League games.
Yeah.
He's obviously
Yeah.
been mainstay in the international team, and I think he's a big part of West Ham's. You know,
He's only saying that there because he's
I-
hopefully come to United next year. He agreed with you straight away. Yes, Declan Rice. Yes, that's
I
because
would-
he thinks he's
I
coming
would-
to United.
I
If he was
would-
going to Liverpool, he wouldn't be in.
no way. I'm not going to say Declan Rice. I'm going to say Ndidi. I think Ndidi is unbelievable.
Indeed, he is a good shout also.
I think he is.
No, our great
He's the
player
new
as well
Kante.
would be John Joe Shelby.
Newcastle have had a great season, to be fair. They're fighting against Arsenal. Oh wait, no.
Now we're going to be below them once we get deducted points.
No, I think Ndidi or what about Kante? What's Kante done this season?
Kante just hasn't played.
He just hasn't been.
played enough.
Is he injured?
He
Has he
has
been
been
injured?
injured for the start of the season, and he's been because Tuchel likes the rotation in the middle. He's
Yeah.
very, he is an unbelievable player. I think he
Okay.
played one of the best defensive performances I've seen this long time against Atletico Madrid, but
Yeah.
he just hasn't played enough in the Premier League
Yeah.
for me.
My shout's Ndidi.
My shout's Rice.
I don't have a shout.
It's going to be either one or the other, one on the bench.
Ah, well, sure, play one week and play one the other. Yes.
I think take the 2 players. I think Ndidi's a better player. I genuinely think he's a better player. Go ahead, you make the decision. Rice or Ndidi?
What, we'll go toss a coin or what? It's like
Down to you.
It's
Go
down to
ahead.
you.
probably Declan Rice.
Wrong.
Rice makes the starting lineup.
My fantasy squad beats this team.
Indeed, he can sit on the bench. Very good
Okay.
replacement.
So who's the other?
The number 8,
Who's number 8?
again, a few options, but I don't think you can leave De Bruyne out of a midfield.
No, it's hard to. It's hard to
I
leave
think,
him out.
I think he's nailed on. He has to play in it.
Who?
Yeah. So are we gonna get players here in this formation and shoehorn them in?
No, but
Or
I think,
do they
I
have
think
to play their exact
I think
position?
De Bruyne coming from a deeper position with the man in front that we're going to play.
Well, who's he competing with for this spot?
Well, I think he's got Gundogan. Has got teammate.
Yeah. Pogba? Do you like him? Do you like him playing from deep?
Possibly, but I don't think he's done enough.
He's been good when he's played.
Yeah,
but he hasn't played enough.
He hasn't done enough to get into centre midfield for Team of the Year.
You can pretty much write off Liverpool's defence and midfield this season,
Yeah,
so we
you
don't
can
have to
write
talk
off.
about them. You write off Chelsea's for the majority of the season
Yeah.
too.
I think De Bruyne as a box-to-box midfielder.
I don't see unless McTominay has a really good day.
I think De Bruyne has to play, especially with the number 10 is obviously going to be.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it has to. It has to be
you
De
can't
Bruyne.
not put De Bruyne in.
There's not even
and
any
he's
point in
that
arguing.
good. He could play the 6 or the 8 or whatever it is.
Yeah, there's not much point in
So
arguing.
De
It's De
Bruyne's
Bruyne.
in, De Bruyne and Rice are going to be your 2 with De Bruyne
Yeah.
obviously your box to box.
Yeah. So you got your 3. So who's playing off the left?
Obviously on the left is for me Son.
Rashford for me. Rashford's had a bad season and still got his 20 goals.
Well, you just summed it up straight away. Rashford's had a bad season, and now you
And
want
they
them in,
still
and
got
now,
20
and now you
goals.
want them in the team.
I don't think
I don't. Well, like and Son's had a good season and he hasn't scored
What
as
about-
many.
what
or
about
assisted
Saka?
as many.
Saka.
and you're being serious this time, aren't you?
You are being serious, aren't you?
Why do you know how he's being serious with the other 20 names that he's?
My one was Rob Holding, no talk.
It's either him or Aubameyang's played out there as well sometimes.
I think Son is.
I probably.
You're lucky he's even here, sure. He should be in the military at the minute, like no. So
Give him the spot because of that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
I go with Son. He's just said Spurs are rubbish the whole way through here, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden he starts. But that's all right. Yeah, it's grand. Yeah.
Spurs are rubbish.
Yes, no. But we see. Bet you Harry Kane will play up front.
I think Son would walk into any Premier League team on the left hand side. If you were
Well, I don't think he'd walk into the Arsenal team because they would hammer him. The fans would probably hammer him on the sideline.
What about?
So can you cut out Arsenal like that? Because there's only going to be 19 other teams who'll take him. Like.
What about Mane playing off the left?
hasn't been as consistent.
You just said there a minute ago you wouldn't take any of the Liverpool
I'm not putting
defence.
them in.
Or
I'm
what
just-
you?
I'm just trying to make a conversation here.
All right, okay. Well, so why don't we start and talk about a couple of other players then? You know,
Go ahead.
they aren't going to make it.
No, I'm gonna make it. Are there any players lower?
Stuart Dallas.
Saint-Maximin.
Stuart Dallas.
Does he play
is-
off the left
Stuart
sometimes?
Dallas.
Saint-Maximin or Almiron? Which one of those two play off the left?
Maximum possibly, but
He hasn't played a lot this
if
season.
you're
either.
looking, I think if
Jack
you're looking
Grealish.
for the-
Stuart
With Jack
Dallas.
Grealish.
Stuart Dallas has played off the left probably 2 or 3 games. I'd say.
Stuart Dallas is first man on the bench for
Well,
me.
no, I don't know why he's on the bench because he can play every position on the pitch.
Yeah, but
So if they go down to 10
yeah.
men, he can slot in. You never thought about this, you see.
I was going to bring him off the bench if someone was you were about the 10 men.
Oh, it's nice.
So what about Jack Grealish? He hasn't played much this past few weeks. He's been injured, but he was unplayable at the start of the season.
Who? Who's he down?
Jack
Right, don't
Grealish.
even put him on the bench. I'm glad. He's not even a coach for us, is he?
James Madison. What about James Madison?
I do like him now.
Harvey Barnes. Does he play off the left or the right?
Yeah, I think Son's the man.
Well, just because you've only got him wrote down and you
He's
don't want
already
to change,
written down.
change it. So like,
You're on a penny.
yeah, he's wrote his team down and we're come up and he's looking at us. He won't even change his
So you
team.
want to take Son out and put who? Harvey Barnes in?
No, we never said that.
No,
we're
we're
just
just
trying to have a conversation
And
here.
you're going to have a conversation that's going to revert back to Son then.
No, we agree a wee bit with Son, like, but
You're just being twisted.
we're not being twisted. We're
We
just
don't be
Just
interested.
being outward.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Son's the player. Right,
Son, we'll go with Son.
in the middle,
What's this like? Number 9, number 10?
Number 10.
Number 10.
That has to be Bruno.
Has to be
Bruno
Smith Rowe.
Fernandes.
You're saying Bruno hasn't scored in the last 5 or 6 games. Like he peaked.
He's
He's
scored one or
peaked.
two and assisted one or two
He's
in every
peaked.
other game.
He takes all United's penalties. So if we're going to say that, we'll go John Joe Shelby. He takes all Newcastle's penalties. He scored 4 or 5. Brilliant.
But you can't say that.
Well, you can't say just because Bruno takes 20 penalties for United a season and scores them all.
I know it's just not because of his goals,
not-
it's because of
it's
his
assists.
and his
Well, sure.
his goal involvements.
Jesse Lingard.
If you hadn't played that for the whole season.
If you hadn't played the guy for more than 15 games.
But you know what it's like. You know what it's like when it comes down to like clubs picking their best player of the season or their fans voting for the best player of the season. You could have been unbelievable before Christmas. No one remembers you.
cares.
People only remember you from April on.
I would be surprised if Bruno isn't the Premier League player this season.
Honestly.
Honestly? Yeah. Who's your? I don't see anyone who's been better than him more consistently throughout the season. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm stunned.
It has to be Bruno.
It doesn't have to be Bruno.
It do, it, I there is no better player in his position than Bruno Fernandes.
No, but you're saying his position, but you're saying you want him to be the.
Yeah, we want him to play in that position. We want him to
No,
play with
no,
right back.
but you just said there he's going to be the best player in the whole league. He's going to get voted. But you just said then when you said in his position. Do you know think De Bruyne?
You're allowed to be best at both.
I don't think. I think he'll be a City player.
When you've got De Bruyne playing in behind, so you've got Bruno Fernandes playing in front.
I don't think they connect.
You don't think the chemistry there?
I think a Smith Rowe would be a better connection. Light than the yeah.
What about Odegaard? Has he been going?
He's alright. Like,
You just like the homegrown, do you?
we'll give him about 5 out of 10 since
Since he started.
No, if there's any possession on the pitch that's a nailed on one,
I think it's Bruno.
that's a nailed on.
It has
It's
to
2
be.
against 1 here. Well, I suppose then you can.
Exactly.
He's got in even if it was 2 using against me.
Yeah, no,
he's
he's-
the best one in the league.
Well, you can sign the team sheet.
He's got 10. So.
I'm a Manchester United fan, yes, but
You can sign
he is
you can
best
sign
on
the
end
team
of
sheet. I'll not be signing it.
So yes, he's the best on the
Yeah,
end of the
he is for sure. There's no even point arguing. If you didn't
Well,
argue,
we just
the
have
song,
argued there for
There's
a
no
while.
point about
I'm
arguing
not
the
talking
song.
about penalties or whatever else. It's goal involvements and
Yeah.
impact on games, impact on seasons, making players around him better.
Yeah,
He has to.
100%.
He
Okay.
has to be.
100%.
He has to be
Okay.
number 10.
100%.
Not
So-
happy about it, but that's alright.
That's right. Off the right, who is there?
Off the right.
Are we here? Go ahead.
Jason Greenwood.
I was torn between
Danny Welbeck.
So I was torn between Mo
Stamps.
Salah and then potentially playing the likes of maybe like Phil Foden on the right.
So you've
There's nobody who does it better.
this
than
player.
Mo
I think
Salah.
this player on this game is brilliant. Not brilliant, but no, can make an impact.
Go ahead.
Pep. Is that a no? That is he making the bench?
You know what? Pepe is one of my most hated players
Why?
in the league.
Why?
See the amount of stick that Harry Maguire gets for being 80 million.
Yeah,
He's 75 million.
he's only 70. And 70.
So he's only 70.
10 million can buy you a lot. Like,
10 million can buy you nothing in the market nowadays.
well, I would take a 10 million. All right. Yeah, but like, I don't rate Harry Maguire. I think Johnny Evans is a far better centre half.
Northern Ireland FC.
Yeah.
No, but it's nothing to do with being homegrown. But like, if you talk to any United fan now, would you have sold Johnny Evans?
No, I personally would.
No. So would Johnny Evans start in your starting 11?
At the minute,
Yeah.
probably would, yeah. I'm not arguing against you. I'm not saying.
No, but what I'm saying,
No.
I think he's a better centre half than Harry Maguire.
No, we still have.
Who plays off the right for Everton? Because they've got Ricardis and Calvert-Lewin. They haven't even got a mention yet. They've had Everton was top of the league.
Yeah, we haven't.
For-
Arsenal were top at the start of the season.
Aye, but nobody had played a game yet.
Well, it doesn't matter.
That's that one. Like Everton had an unbelievable start. To the
What about
season.
James Ward-Prowse?
He's a great shout for in the middle. Free kick taker. He's a quality shout.
No, but he's not better than.
He's not better than who's there.
For me, the best right-hand side player in the league is Mo Salah, and he's proved it again, even though he's a Liverpool player with his goals.
Yeah, I think you're right.
What
If
is
you
he,
look,
second or third in the goal scoring charts behind 2 number 9s.
if you also look at fantasy teams, and that's everybody picking teams around here, you're probably
Salah is in it.
you're probably looking at Salah being in everybody's team except for Ryan.
Except for mine.
Correct.
I haven't put Salah in it.
No,
no Liverpool players getting my fantasy team, so
right. So
I honestly have a total blank and I can't think of anyone.
no,
But
I
off
think
the right.
I think he's got it. I think Salah is the one for it.
Salah has to play.
I'm going to disagree because he's a Liverpool player.
But who you
but
go put in? No one. Just got to play with 10 players.
I play with him.
Right
I'll put 2 up front.
up front.
Okay, who's your?
Up front,
There's only one person can play this road.
go ahead.
I know who you're going to go with.
And you're going to say Lacazette.
I'm not going to say like I said. Jamie Vardy.
Edison Cavani. No. It's between Vardy and Keane,
Yeah.
and they've both been injured for probably about the same amount of time this season.
McKean.
Keane gets the reputation.
I've really shocked. I've shocked him because he wasn't expecting me to say Vardy. He doesn't know what to say.
I was like-
I had Vardy on the bench.
I was expecting an Arsenal under 23s player for you, to be honest.
John Smith.
Just for a third name as a
Calvert-Lewin.
runner-up, Calvert-Lewin has had
Yeah.
a great season.
Well, Harry Kane is the Premier League top goal scorer, so
Well, who's second?
Bruno.
Bruno Fernandes.
Because he takes penalties, so you can rule him out.
Third is Son.
You can rule him out as well.
Bamford is another good shout.
Patrick Bamford.
Patrick
He's had a good season
Should
considering.
be the top goal scorer. Should be Harry Kane.
It would be hard to keep Harry Kane out of that team.
Yeah.
But Vardy is probably the only.
I think Vardy has to be in the squad, but
Well, we'll come to that.
Okay.
so you're going Harry Kane then.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the squad
So
apart from the centre back.
Yeah.
You said how bad Tottenham is, and you've 2 players in their team,
They've got 2 world-class players.
and we haven't picked one Arsenal player out.
The 2 players are sitting first and third in the goal scoring charts.
Yeah.
How can they not be in it?
Okay.
That goes to show how good them
So we need to go back. We need to get a centre half now.
That goes to show how good them players are.
We need a centre half.
Yes, we need a centre half.
Is it this season or is it?
Yes,
This
probably
season.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to say this and get absolute abuse from Richard or not, but Lewis Dunk, Brighton, centre back. Brighton's had a bad season, but he's been a good player.
Lewis Dunk. Does he play for Tullymore, does he? No?
He's
Taking into consideration that Leicester are sitting third in the league, Johnny Evans has played quite a lot of games. You know, as a position, obviously if Van Dijk had played the season, it probably would have been.
Well, here's one for you here. Okay, just click in there to the fantasy points. Who scored the most points as a defender?
as a defender.
Okay, so run down the top 5. Who's number 1? Who do you think's number 1?
Diaz.
Nope.
Trent.
Nope. 2 players. You've got in the top 3 is Diaz. He's number 3. In front of them is Cresswell, and who's number 1? Who's the number 1 defender here? I keep harping on that he's not in the team.
David Luiz.
Stuart Dallas is the number 1, 142 points. He's the top defender. Don't care if he doesn't play defence. The fantasy never lies. All right. Now you were talking about Dunk. He's in the top 10. Maguire's in front of him by a point.
What about Wesley Fofana from Leicester?
He's
Not
not.
Johnny Evans.
Wesley Fofana. He's 56th here.
Willie Bolly. Wolves.
There's a possession where 1 or 2 hasn't.
What about Keane?
Stuck
Or
out.
Keane? Is it Keane? Is it? Does it for
Will
Everton?
Keane for Everton, yeah.
Or Taggart? Where's Taggart play?
What about
Tyrone Mings and Consa.
Conte?
Holding 85 points.
Conte would be a good shout in there.
If he had played the full season, he got injured, but he was playing well at the start. Was Vestergaard for Southampton,
Yeah.
but yeah, I know he didn't play in this game. But any team that gets beat,
I
by
think
9
for giving
goals-
so much stick, Harry Maguire is actually a good shout.
Ben Mee, James Tarkowski at Burnley are always a solid. Now they're getting a wee bit on, but they're still solid. Sort of, I know they.
No,
haven't
there was
had a
for
good
weeks
season,
weeks
but
there that Harry Maguire was getting the bonuses.
Yeah,
No,
I-
against West Ham he was good. Against Man City he was good. Against Crystal Palace he was good. Against Chelsea, like they're in a number of weeks you get 1, 2, 3, 4 clean sheets in a row. They don't get me wrong. They drew 3 all with Everton. Then the next week, they conceded goals against Newcastle and stuff.
yeah. I think Harry Maguire is actually a good shout considering the amount of abuse he gets, and I don't see anybody else standing out.
So very
I do like Jerome Mings though.
reluctantly or debatably, or we go with Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I think we'll go with Harry Maguire. I know you're not taking Rob Holding as a shout, so
Okay, so that moves us on to our
So give us the full team there.
full starting
Start
11 is Martinez
Hey.
from Aston Villa, Vladimir Kufal from West Ham, Ruben Diaz, Manchester City, Harry Maguire, Manchester United, Luke Shaw, Manchester United, Kevin De Bruyne, Man City, Declan Rice, West Ham, Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United, Salah from Liverpool, Harry Kane, Tottenham, and Son, Tottenham. So that's our starting
Okay.
Premier League team of the year.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'm just thinking. of other players. It feels very top heavy. And there's teams like Everton who haven't really got a shout.
I think a couple of Everton boys will be on the bench.
Yeah.
We're running out of spaces on the bench. Yeah.
Well, get half them boys out of it.
Right. So who's the bench?
So
First man on the bench is Stuart Dallas.
well, the first man on the bench, positional
Well,
wise,
so the position is a substitute goalkeeper.
substitute goalkeeper. So I think it's what we spoke. at the
Billy
start.
Peacock Farrell.
Ederson is going to go from
It's,
starter to in the bench to put Martinez as number one.
yeah.
He's kept
But
the
then
most-
another good keeper
kept
as
the
well.
most-
And I'm not.
kept the most clean sheets.
Yeah, he's kept. Yeah. What about Mesler?
From Leeds.
Like, he's young.
Yeah.
Like, it's alright putting these big keepers in, but he's
Yeah.
young. He's done well for Leeds. Again, as I talked before, Martinez probably got Aston Villa 20 points. Mesler
Leslie's kept a lot.
kept a lot of big games. Like,
Yeah.
like there's games there he's made 7, 8 saves. Don't get me wrong, Ederson, you're talking about who is going to be crowned the champions. It'd be bad if their keeper was nowhere in. But again, I like him as a keeper, but I love him as a keeper as well. I think he tries to play too much sometimes. While you're going back to Mesler being just a goalkeeper, like Martinez does all the easy things good. Do you know that sort of way? Like, his number one rule is trying to keep the ball out of the net.
And Ederson's done the most because he's kept the most clean sheets.
But then look, we're playing in front of him. No, like, how do you?
Help was in his team.
Yeah. Who has the most saves this season?
Probably Mesler or Martinez.
It'll be a smaller club.
Nick Pope.
Nick Pope's a good shout. He was out for a while.
But then you're going down to the top 4. What about Casper Schmeichel?
Casper Schmeichel. Dean Henderson hasn't
there
put
could
a
be-
fit wrong.
Ugh.
He hasn't put a fit wrong.
He doesn't put a fit round, but he never uses his hands, goes through them. So he can not put a fit round, but he has to use his
You
hands.
talking about all the clean sheets Harry Maguire had there? Who was the keeper?
But sure, then we're
wasn't
just
it?
talking about Ederson. No, we're talking about a goalkeeper
I
here.
think he can't pass
Mesler, yeah.
the champions goalkeeper
What about Alisson?
to be in the team.
Nah, Alisson's cost Liverpool this season, I think. No mistakes.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think we'll go Ederson for that.
Okay.
Well, if we need a third choice, we'll go Mesler then. For feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee Grant.
Okay, your substitute defender. I think we're all in agreement that Stuart Dallas has to be.
Stuart
somewhere
Dallas
in
has
the
to be.
But how long? You've argued me the whole day. I've looked him to play left wing, left back, wing back, everything. Are you sure you're going to put him in as a defender?
squad. We'll put him in as
As a utility.
As a utility.
Yeah.
How
I
many-
don't think
gets
Stuart Dallas does enough to get into the Premier League team this season in a position,
Yeah.
Oh, you can play them all.
in one position.
No,
Right, okay.
I don't think so either. So Stuart Dallas is the first man on the bench.
Well, if you're saying he's a utility player, why do we need a keeper? Maybe he could do nets.
I think he, as I say, he hasn't done enough. He hasn't done enough to get into the team of the year in one position.
Yeah.
But to have somebody in the squad, because we are including 5 subs or whatever,
Yeah.
I think he'd be very good to have to cover a variety of positions.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's from Northern Ireland is a nice speed boost as well.
Yep.
So we have three substitute spots yet.
Yeah, 3 to fill. So I think a complete and utter nail on has to be Phil Foden.
6 hours later.
That's a no then.
Well, like, if you're going nailed on, you have to go Jamie Vardy before that.
Aye, but sure, we've still got our 2 positions.
Yeah,
to
but
fill.
we're.
So you're putting 2 midfielders in and 1 striker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Foden has to be in it somewhere. He has to be in the team, the squad somewhere. He's the best young player in the league. Like.
Behind Mason Greenwood.
Behind Saka, Smith Rowe.
I
don't like.
think he's a good player.
It's just the way you've said nailed on.
I-
If we're
yeah.
going nailed on,
He should be in 11.
yeah, like nailed on. You're saying, oh, he should be nailed on the bench, but should Jimmy Vardy not be nailed on the bench?
Aye, but we've still 2 places to fill.
Aye, but like this last one, I think we'll leave Foden out for a wee bit. Like, we'll go.
Well, let's go striker.
Yeah, Jimmy.
It's Jimmy Vardy or Calvert-Lewin.
Nah,
so it's Jimmy Vardy. then.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had Vardy.
So
in.
Right, so we've
Vardy's
got
your
Vardy,
striker.
Dallas.
So you have two midfielders to fill then.
Yeah. Who was your other midfielder you were thinking?
I haven't. I left that space open.
Okay.
Okay. So who have we got? There's nobody there. Pogba, Paul Pogba.
Who?
No, not for me. No.
Who?
Who? He won the World Cup there a few years ago. Very little at United.
Glad you say it.
Very little at United. He won very little at United.
Who's your defender? You're going with Dallas as a defender.
Dallas, yeah.
What happens if he needs centre half?
Indeed, he can play centre
But
half.
could we not count Dallas as our midfielder?
I think he's predominantly a defender. Has he not
no,
played more?
Should we not put one midfielder and one utility player and put a defender in, an actual out-and-out defender?
I suppose that's a good shout too.
Well, then are you going to pick one defender if it's a centre half?
Can he play right back?
Well, that's Johnny Evans can utility across the back four. No, he could play anywhere. You couldn't stick.
If you try and be a wee bit more creative on the bench and a wee bit more risky on the bench instead of having like.
Well, then we shouldn't put a keeper in.
I think we have.
5 strikers.
If you're going creative, well, then Ederson can play with his feet. So if you're really stuck, you could.
I think that's why putting Dallas in covers us for left and right back, covers us for possibly midfield.
Well, I have never seen Dallas play centre half. That's the only problem. So you've no centre half cover.
Well, then if you were talking about Wilfred and Didi and Declan Rice, surely they'll be at them to play centre half. Declan Rice play centre half for a few years.
I don't think Jack Grealish is getting enough love here.
Who?
Aston
We've
Villa.
still got a place left.
I think he has been. I know
Well,
he's injured at the minute.
if you nailed on that
Foden.
Foden's in.
Well, for me, Foden has to be in the squad. Like, you can't not leave. You can't not put Foden in team of the year. Like, if you're going, he might not make the 11 team of the year, but if you're going to include 5 extras, I think he has to be in it. Like.
If you had Phil Foden and James Maddison, do you pick Foden every time?
Yes.
Every time.
I pick Foden over James Maddison,
Paul Pogba.
Jack Grealish, and Phil Foden. I'm picking Foden every time. He's the best young player in the league. So,
This season, you think?
yeah.
This season, or are you picking him because he's a young player?
No, I'm picking him because this season he's been a mainstay. He's 20 years of age. He's been a mainstay in the Manchester City team.
Better than Gundogan.
Full of world class stars, and he plays near enough every game now, whether it be in a midfield 3 or on the left of the front 3. He's always included in the big games. He's scored 2 goals in the Champions League quarter final to pretty much put them into the semis.
And then
He has.
yeah, I think you're right. He has to go in if he can
He's
play.
An incredible player.
I think I take Gundogan over Foden. I think Gundogan's been essential.
See, he's only come onto the scene since the turn of the year,
So's Foden. Foden didn't have a great start to the season, did he?
but he's always been.
So you're putting him in instead of Smith Rowe then as well. Yeah.
Smith Rowe maybe makes it the second on him.
Smith Rowe has been quite good for Arsenal, but the problem is there's 10 men around him that haven't.
I think Foden is.
Right. Well, that's all right. We'll put Foden down. So we need one more then.
Yes, so now we're going to clash over Ndidi or Gundogan
Or Maddison.
or Maddison
Or Grealish.
or Grealish. There's your 4.
I honestly like James Maddison. I'm not just saying that. I like him as a player.
I like James Maddison. I really like James Maddison. Another player who,
What about James Roy Price?
yeah, he's been good.
What about James Roy Price?
I was going to skip over that.
I pronounced that all wrong.
James Boyd
Price, I think I said Price, didn't
James Boyd Price.
I thought he said James Rolls
Come on,
Royce.
tell us who he plays for.
it? He plays for Ballybay under 3s.
I think for me it's
Gundogan or Maddison.
For me, it's.
I still think Jack Grealish deserves.
He's a
deserves
winger,
to be
but-
there.
For me, it's Gundogan or.
No,
That's only because you think he's another player that might go to United. This is like,
Like, is it-
this is like a Declan Rice.
look,
It's like you
Richard.
said, Lacazette.
No, but I'm being serious now. We're going into like
this is the biggest club in the world. Everybody wants to come to United.
They don't.
They do.
And they all deserve to be in team of the year.
8 hours later.
We're doing
This
the
is
If
the
Rob-
biggest club.
The following Thursday,
The Valley Rangers is bigger than United at the minute.
24 hours later.
If we came for Rob Holding, he'd run to us.
Much later.
So there's one spot,
Yeah.
and it's either Ndidi, Maddison, or Grealish.
Or
And you don't like, or Gundogan.
Well, I'm taking Madison out of that equation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I'm taking Grealish out.
that's Grealish for everybody else.
So we're down to
Ndidi or
Grealish, Gundogan, or
Ndidi.
Right, I'm taking Ndidi out.
I'm taking Smith Rowe in.
then I think it's Gundogan.
Sold.
There we go.
As much as I hate more
can't-
City players going,
can't hate
but
people.
they're champions. They're the champions elect.
Alright, sure, you're saying
I
that
think
now.
it's very harsh on Grealish not being team of the year.
Oh, flip sakes, you
I
just
think it's very hard. Why you gonna say that 2 minutes ago? I can't.
Just for the set.
I'm sitting here. I can't believe that Jack Grealish isn't in this
Just for the
team.
set.
take 6.
Jack
Do you,
Grealish.
Clearly.
do you take out?
Alright, Jack. You're back in, mate.
When I sit and think about it, like
Jack Grealish has been unplayable
when I sit and think
when he's
about
not
it,
injured.
like,
Yeah, when he's not injured, you can't have a bye. You can't have it down to 14 on a Saturday. Hard enough.
do you
He's.
just take your defender out and put in another attacker and go?
No, we're not taking Stuart Dallas out of the team. See if you take Stuart Dallas out of the team.
You're resigning as goalkeeping coach.
This is. You cannot
Okay,
take Stuart Dallas. He's.
It's really a suggestion.
Well, it's not a suggestion. Shouldn't be happening, Matthew. It can't be happening.
It's just a suggestion.
If you're going to take that out,
I
we don't need a
think-
sub. If you're going to, you don't need a sub goalkeeper. I've seen Dallas with a pair of gloves on. He's decent.
Okay, it's only a suggestion. Sorry.
Jack Grealish is mint.
He might be meant, but he's no Stuart Dallas.
Stuart Dallas is safe. Trust me, he's
He's
safe.
not safe. Matthew's going to take him out a minute
I'm
ago.
editing this video. He's safe.
Are you sure? Now, see if I watch this video and Stuart
It's gonna-
Dallas has
it's-
been axed.
Whenever I edit it, it's going to be all the United team with Stuart Dallas.
Is Stuart Dallas in the team?
The more
Stuart
I think
Dallas
about
in
it, Grealish, you have to,
Grealish is
you have
unbelievable.
to increase.
Well, sure, a minute ago
He
you were
kept
talking about
Aston Villa up
Foden.
last season.
Foden's a wee step ahead of Grealish, and
Well, that's it. You've just summed it up.
No, he's not. A step ahead of Jack Grealish.
Yes,
he's
he is.
5 steps behind.
He's not. He's top of the league.
He's not.
no,
Aye, well, yeah.
I don't know.
Jack Grealish kept them up last season, and this season, as long as he was playing, they were top 4.
Yeah, Foden has pretty much put Manchester City into the semi-finals. Jack Grealish has just kept that up.
Yeah, because he's had
They're above
10
Arsenal.
players. 10. That's true.
That's last season. This season, based from this season,
I think it's between Jack Grealish and Bruno Fernandes for player of the season if Grealish wasn't injured for the last few weeks.
you're putting F's in the end of all your sentences. That
If Thierry Henry hadn't retired 4 or 5 years ago, he'd be top goal scorer.
if Man United win all the games in the season, they win the league.
Yeah. If Cantona hadn't kicked the fan,
crossed.
it would.
Do you want to take Gundogan out and put Grealish in there?
I do. I think Grealish
No way.
deserves to be
No
there.
way.
No.
What about Gundogan? How many
why
goals
not?
has he scored for City?
A couple.
How many games has he won for City?
Not many.
That's because you don't watch them.
I watched them all. Almost.
We're really torn in this one, aren't we?
Richard Bailey has now left the podcast. Thank you. You're just going to edit me in now just for
You're not
random.
in this video anymore. I honestly think that Jack Grealish is one of the best players in the league.
So we'll bend the rules and put 6 on the bench.
No, we
You
just
can't do
all
that.
of a sudden then we'll put 7
I
and
want
Johnny
7
Evans
then.
has played well.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it has to
7.
be. You have to keep your
it's-
5.
It's a
You have
toss
to
up.
keep your
No,
5.
we haven't
It's-
got Calvert-Lewin in.
Yeah.
No, Everton have been really, really good this
Yeah.
season.
Fred had a good 2 or 3 games and he scored a goal. Fred scored a goal.
Fred scored a goal. Dean Henderson wore a hat the other night, looked the part as a keeper. Still not going to make it, like we looked the part.
How do you just go with one striker? Take Vardy out and put Grealish in?
You can't take.
You can't take-
Vardy
You
out.
couldn't have the tapes you want Grealish.
I think Grealish has to be in.
Can we not do a reserve list and he can be top reserve and that's it, just one on the reserve list in case someone doesn't take this phone call that they're going to make the PSA team of the year.
The PSA.
I know for Pickford is going to be raging that he hasn't made it. Like, no,
Oh, dinosaur arms.
he has done so well like this year.
The only good thing
Well,
that he
he
did was
should be-
injured Van Dijk.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised you haven't come out and said Pickford's the keeper of the year because he's kicked Van Dijk in the head or whatever, he knocked him out.
And Thiago Alcantara too.
Right, we're going to have to make a call here.
What? Who?
I say,
Hello? Is that South Point? Yeah, 3 coffees. Is that the
I say Grealish
What? Who are you taking out?
for
Ederson.
Gundogan
I
instead
don't
of
think we need a
Gundogan.
keeper. We don't even need a keeper.
I say Gundogan doesn't get a spot. Grealish does.
Do you want to take a keeper out and put
No. Grealish for Gundogan.
What do you think?
what do you think?
I'm happy with the team as is.
So it's either Gundogan or Grealish.
It's your call. You sign the team sheet. If they get beat the first week, you're sacked.
Yeah, but remember I edited the video.
Grealish up. Right, I will. That's
Grealish does
Why?
Now we have to,
Why?
because I think just Grealish just brings just something different.
You don't need to justify yourself. You're right.
Something
You don't need to
different.
justify yourself.
Now we need
That's a great team, no matter what.
a
It's not.
manager.
It used to be a good team.
Now we need
Used to
a
be good.
manager and an assistant manager.
Manager, Steve Bruce.
Do they have to be in the Premiership?
Yes.
It's gonna be Pep or
It's not going to be Pep.
It is, 'cause I think Pep
I bet you. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Pep because I bet you he's gonna be written down.
Why do you say Pep? Do you think he's the best
I
manager?
think Pep Guardiola is the best manager and coach in the world.
I do not.
I don't.
So,
Neither do I. If Pep's your manager, who's your assistant?
I would push for David Moyes.
I think David Moyes is a shout for manager of the season.
Yeah, because he's working with so little. No,
He
little.
has turned Jesse Lingard into
Jesse Lingard.
Messi.
Jesse Messi.
Messi Lingard.
Messi. I think Arteta's done well. Well, he's got.
Moyes got- So
We're
Moyes is-
Arsenal.
He's a
12?
bunch of.
12? To
Someone.
be fair, that team probably is about 13th place team. So
He's punching above.
Put Moyes as manager and Pep as his assistant.
No, I don't think Pep and him work
I
together.
don't- I
You need
don't-
people that's going to work together. No, like they can't work together.
yeah,
you need
there's
a
no
first
chemistry
team,
there. If it was Pep and Arteta, they've got that week
like a Steve Bold or something there.
But what about smaller teams that have done?
Sean Dice.
Yeah, Sean Dyche has done rubbish this season.
Burnley are 2 points above the relegation zone.
Big Sam. You have to have Sam in the team just to get the boys fired up. No.
No.
I think the best partnership. This was my best partnership. No, would be
Big
Sam.
Sam,
Big
Sam.
Sam. Who do you think his assistant would be?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
No. This man here would. So Sam would get the players all fired up, ready to go out to battle, and this fella would just calm them all down.
Jose Mourinho would
No.
bring them down to earth pretty quickly.
No. Roy Hodgson.
Oh, Big Sam and Roy.
Big
Over
Sam.
that team.
So Roy would just sit.
The manager of the season.
Roy Hodgson would just sit there in the dugout. Big Sam would tell the boys what he thought of them, and I think that would just fire everybody up. No, Sam would give them a whole bollock, and Roy would just sort them out.
That was the worst shout I've ever heard.
I tried to say it as soon as this was good. He's never done. I just think these boys never think I'm going to come out with Roy Hodgson.
That is the worst call in football history.
So no, we're not going then with.
We're not going with that.
What about Roy Hodgson as manager and Sam as assistant?
I like that a lot
That
better.
was better, isn't it? I think the average age is about 80 there. I think you're right. I think it has to be Pep and
Brendan
Arteta.
Rodgers, Northern Ireland Joe.
Worked seasons and seasons ago. What was wrong with this
I
time?
think the manager, I think it has to be Moyes and Pep.
No, it has to be Arteta. Arteta and Pep. Sure, Arteta was his assistant. So why would you change it now?
I
Ryan?
think
Brendan
Ryan.
Rodgers. What about Brendan Rodgers? He's keeping Leicester pretty consistent.
Brendan Rodgers, yeah, and Arteta.
Arteta's not
being
going
this.
in this team.
So you've took every choice I come up with, he's just knocked me down. I don't know why.
Because every choice has been
I
Arsenal.
honestly don't even know why I'm here. No, I've come up with the
I'm
two
not so
best.
sure either more.
Yeah, I came up with the best two choices there as a manager and assistant manager, and I'm shot down. And I'm going to mention Arteta and Pep, who managed for years and years and won leagues and cups. You shut me down. Then he comes up with Brendan Rodgers. You shut him
As
down.
manager of the year.
This is like the Matthew Newell's team.
It's manager.
It's almost as though you own Premier Soccer Academy.
It's like you're the boss, and we're just here for the dice crack.
It's manager of the year, not manager of the century.
So we're going with
What two managers have been the best this season?
I think
Pick two.
Brendan Rodgers and Moyes.
Pick two.
Moyes and
The same as me. You can't go Pep. You don't like that.
before I say this, I'm going to say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs a recommendation shout because
Why?
he got them the second. He's
Oh.
got United the second. That's the first time we've been
Top of the
in-
losers. One minute
in
you're
first.
going, no, United's the biggest
You would
club.
love to be second.
United's
Don't
the
deny
biggest
it.
club in
You
the
would love
world.
to be up the second. It'll
No,
take
it's
us
not.
10 years to rebuild
We're
up to
going
get
to
to
go
the
to
top
that
four.
ESPL, whatever it's.
He's the best managerial
manager.
record
Manchester
against.
United fan,
against
and Ole Gunnar
Pep.
Solskjaer is not manager. Or
He's the-
No,
assistant
he's not.
manager.
No, I'm saying I'm not going to
He's
say
the
he is.
best Norwegian manager ever. So yes, that's what that's the next quote.
He's
you're gonna-
definitely up there.
Yeah.
I think he just needs fair play, Ollie. That's all I'm going to say. I know he's watching.
Fair play. I think it's only Cup United's going to win. It's the fair play.
It's David Moyes. And I haven't mentioned Thomas Tuchel yet.
Who?
He's only been in the door.
Ah, you can't
He's only
shoot.
been in the door.
Too short. Although he could end up in.
He could end up next
He is in the
season.
final, and it could be in the Champions League final
Yeah.
too. But
I definitely turned that
Another
Chelsea
one you
team-
haven't mentioned
turned
as
that
well.
Chelsea team
Another
around.
one you haven't mentioned. Just saying you haven't mentioned another one. Done a great job for Everton there as well.
Ancelotti, yeah.
You talked about him being top of the league there for a while.
I
Ancelotti,
know
yeah.
what your
Klopp.
I think
Klopp.
do you know what? I think Ancelotti might be the best manager in the league. He's just with Everton at the minute.
Brendan Rodgers is a good shout too. Another final.
So Jurgen Klopp's definitely out.
Need to keep him on.
I think it's between Pep, Moyes, and Brendan.
Just have all three of them.
Now, me saying or putting in the conversation Tuchel is a big thing because I've never liked him.
Yeah, I know that.
Just
Partly because he's never managed United.
because you don't like
no,
him.
no,
doesn't
I didn't rate him at PSG. I didn't like him in Bayern or Borussia Dortmund. I wasn't a fan.
Well, we go
But-
assistant manager, and coach,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pep
I-
as the coach.
and have Moyes as manager.
I think Pep would be a better coach than a first team coach.
I think Brendan Rodgers might be a bottle job.
What do you mean, like washing out the balls?
No. Like we're now 10 points clear from Leicester.
Yeah.
They should have been ahead of us 5 games ago. They bottled
Yes,
it.
but this is Leicester. we're
Whenever
talking about.
he was the Liverpool manager, they bottled it.
And when he went to Celtic, he won 3 trebles in a row.
I could do that.
All right, they're looking a job at the minute, so maybe we should do no.
PSA could take over Celtic in the morning and make a.
That would go down well.
We could make a job of it. No baller.
Yeah, you could just make them look good on camera.
Yeah.
So I think we go Moyes as manager
Yeah.
because
Yep.
he's done an incredible job
Yep.
at West Ham.
Yep.
Possibly Champions League, very possible European football. Assistant manager.
Ancelotti.
Alfie
He's
Stewart.
got the head for it. He knows the game inside out.
Ancelotti is not in the manager of the year bracket.
This year's went on for too long. This manager thing, we should have this sorted out ages ago. Now we're arguing about blanket managers. Just need to be
Assistant manager Pep,
Pep Guardiola.
because another Premier League title.
and then first team coach
First team coach Brendan Rodgers.
Michael Carrick. Oh.
Steve Lomas.
Another fantastic season with Leicester. FA Cup final, Champions League football. And
That's
that is our PSA Premier League team of the year.
That was difficult.
That was tough, and I'm sure
Friendships have been ruined.
there'll be lots of disagreements from people outside of here, but that's what we have
Yeah.
debated over for the last half an hour,
Half an hour, about 2 hours.
and that was what the choices and the decisions we've came to. So
I'll just put this in note. Richard Bailey had nothing to do with those teams.
Stuart Dallas.
Stuart Dallas, that's weird. Can't believe Mike Rooney never made the team.
There you go. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sure you all disagree. So tell us how you disagree. Richard's going to be in the comments being like Stuart Dallas should be starting. Tell us how you would put your team, who your managers are going to be, who your assistant is, your coach, who's on your bench, and more importantly, where is Stuart Dallas going to fit into this team? Tell us in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you soon.